think I got it.
What?
Nope. This'll be useful. Professor! Look, Professor!
Now is the time to... I'm really getting it.
Guess I need to know this.
I've got the gist of it.
I suppose it's...
Seems my
I passed! I passed! I must continue to work hard.
Perfect comprehension.
All that hard work's paid off.
fortune. Welcome. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon.
Yeah.
I'm... I am grateful.
You've got a look of resolve on your face, Constance. Have you come to a decision?
Quite so. I never waver for long, you know. You have risen to become Emperor in this age of uncertainty. I too must adapt to the times. I am ready to enlighten you regarding the secret that House Nouvelle has kept for generations.
You have my gratitude. You will be rewarded for taking such a drastic measure. To be clear, this is about your crest, correct?
Your instincts are sharp. According to the Empire's records, I bear the major crest of Macule. But those records are mistaken. In point of fact, the crest that I bear is...
The major crest of Noah, one of the lost saints. That bloodline was believed to have died out. No one, not even the Imperial nobility, bears that crest. How then did you come by that bloodline? And how did you manage to thwart the Empire's investigations into the matter?
All of the answers you seek are tied to House Nouvelle's origins. Close to 1,000 years ago, Saint Noah parted ways with Saint Saros. She lived out her days in seclusion on what would become Nouvelle territory. Her children obscured their origins before serving the Empire. It wasn't long before they were ennobled. I suspect Saint Noah feared that revealing her crest would only lead to tragedy.
So she passed it off as the crest of Macule, which already existed within the Empire.
Yes, much like Saint Macule, Saint Noah was known to be a masterful mage. Her magic ensured that any test would not reveal the true nature of her crest. Otherwise, someone may have exploited our bloodline long ago.
House Nouvelle was known for producing as few heirs as possible. It was also known for keeping its offspring pure, mostly by disallowing marriage with other houses. All of that effort was in order to conceal Noah's bloodline, wasn't it?
Yes, but it was a factor in our house's ultimate downfall. Our priorities were, perhaps, not what they ought to have been. In sidestepping the internal strife within the Empire, we left ourselves open to the external threat posed by Dagda. With stronger blood ties to other houses, we might have had allies in our time of greatest need.
Interesting. I always had the inkling that the 6 noble houses were eager to see House Nouvelle fall. Thank you for trusting me with this, Constance. As Emperor, I swear to do all I can to help you revive your fallen house.
I've looked everywhere.
I guess Sylvain must still have it. Huh? When did this book get here? Wait, this is mine! And there's something sticking out of it. A letter? Dear author, I read your manuscript quite by accident and duly apologize. However, I also write today to inform you that I enjoyed your story tremendously. I laughed and cried as the heroine overcame her many obstacles, growing stronger with each step. Your literary style presents a unique perspective. I could sense you watching over the protagonist. Wow, so many compliments, and so much attention to detail. The girl's failures are as compelling as her triumphs. Since authors are told to write what they know, I believe your tale would not have been so convincing were it not for your own experiences. What? My own experiences? That's a weird way to give praise. Who wrote this anyway? Who would read my story so carefully and then write this long letter to tell me about it? Whoever it is, they must be wonderful. Someone like my dear old uncle. I do hope my letter inspires you to keep writing. Looking forward to the next chapter. Your devoted fan, Sylvain. What? Sylvain? It can't be!
Hey, you Bernadetta. Did you read my letter?
How long have you been standing there?
I'm sorry, but I fell head over heels for your story. It's so good, and I just had to tell you about it. So, what do you say? Will you write more? Why don't we talk literature over some tea?
Oh, I see your plan now. You're out to humiliate me. Very clever, but I'm not falling for it.
Huh? What's that noise? Sounds like someone's having fun. Maybe it's coming from the greenhouse.
That was really fun, Bernie. Good thing I found such an out-of-the-way spot to play. Only the pretty flowers heard me here. Isn't that right, little flower? You're the only one who heard, aren't you? What did you think?
That was amazing!
Why is your voice so deep?
What? I'm no flower.
Oh no. Raphael, you heard it all, didn't you?
I did! What kind of instrument was that? I could hear it all the way over at the training grounds. It was great. I didn't know you could play.
All the way from the training grounds? Oh.
That's right. Then I came here to tell you how good you sounded.
Good. No, I'm on to you. First, you flatter me. Then you get me to perform on stage in front of everyone to humiliate me.
No? But that's a great idea. Everyone should be able to hear your music.
Ah, I knew it! Monster! I won't fall victim to your schemes!
I don't know what just happened, but I think I might have scared her.
Yuritsa?
What?
I've got it all figured out.
Hmm?
Your true identity. If my detective skills are correct, then you are the Death Knight, right?
Everyone already knows that.
What? Everyone knows? But how? Oh, and here I thought that I'd uncover your big spooky secret. Oh, Bernie, you're such a shut-in that you missed the biggest news in town. So, here's the deal, Yuritsa. You've got to tell me a secret about you that nobody else knows.
Why?
Because I sleuthed for hours upon hours. It's gotta be rewarded.
Just stop.
Oh, come on. Please? Oh, I know. I've got it. Why do you wear that crazy-looking armor when you're pretending to be the Death Knight? Are you just into the look of it? You like spooky stuff?
Well, I may have been drawn to that aspect. To look sinister. To embody death.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe you put on that mask and armor because, just like old Bernie, you don't like talking to people.
There may be some truth to that. Talking to people is intolerable.
Oh, yeah? I think I'm sensing a real kinship between us. So, with that whole spooky getup on, it allowed you to speak to people with confidence.
No.
Oh, hey, Yuritsa. Don't tell anyone about this, okay? This is our little secret.
I don't mind, but I also don't understand.
Bernadetta, knock it off. How long are you gonna keep this up?
I can't have them find me. Time for a tactical withdrawal.
Wait up, would you? Running away every time you see me is just going to wear us both out. If you've got something to say, say it already. You've been shadowing me for ages. Think how I feel. You don't show up for war council when I'm there. Do you even know what's going on in the world?
I know, but I just can't, okay? I can't be around you, Yuri. It's just not doable. I know what my father did to you. It's all just too overwhelming. I thought you died.
You thought I had. But I hadn't. I was halfway to my grave, but I survived.
Halfway? Then that means the half of you that survived is gonna seek revenge on me!
I was half dead, sure, but that really meant I was able to get out with my life. If I was to seek revenge, it would be on the Count, not you. But I'm looking to make things even. It's all or nothing. You wouldn't be standing here talking to me right now if I targeted you.
If not here, then where would I be? At the bottom of a ravine?
I wouldn't push you off a cliffside.
Maybe you'll tie me to a big rock and drop me in the ocean. Is that it? You're gonna turn me into fish food. I knew it!
What are you going on about?
Mercy! If it has to be a watery grave, please just drop me in icy water so I freeze instead of drown!
Kid's got issues. Well, I guess I'd better tell her everything.
You're following me. Stop.
I am leaving you alone, just as you asked. I may be walking the same way as you, but
What do you want?
you've made it abundantly clear I'm not to want anything from you, including politeness.
I heard a rumor that you're planning to settle down with a noble. I abandoned my family, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Not much to gain from marrying me.
I just find you interesting is all. Is that so odd?
Interesting? I'm not interesting. What do you mean?
I've never met a noble so unsociable. Yes, that's the word, unsociable. Other nobles are quick to be friends, even if it's just because they might gain something from it.
The Empire's nobility, maybe. The Kingdom's nobility is a whole different animal.
If they are, so what? You should care how others think of you.
Why? I don't answer to them. All that matters is improving my skill. I'll prove my worth on the battlefield. Those people care so much about appearances they can't even see each other. It makes me sick.
Oh, I agree. What's important isn't how someone looks, it's their true nature. I don't pretend to know your true nature. I don't even have a very good understanding of my own. But I suppose you see mine just fine, don't you? Just a silly girl with no thoughts in her head except for marrying a noble. Yes? Goodbye, Felix.
Ah, Dorothea. What are you doing here?
I was actually waiting to see you.
Were you going to invite me out to dinner? I accept.
Yes, I was. I don't think it would be so bad to share a meal with you from time to time.
How about tonight? I'm busy tomorrow.
That's fine by me. What are you busy with, I wonder? Girls? And more girls?
Isn't it an unwritten rule not to ask about such things? But what a curious turn of events. Have you perhaps got an ulterior motive?
No ulterior motives. If you're worried, we can just pretend this conversation never happened.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I just don't understand why you want my company now, when you've always been so cold to me. Have you perhaps fallen in love with me?
My stomach just got queasy. You know what? Maybe I'll eat on my own after all.
Fine, fine, I get it. You want someone to chase your loneliness away.
Something like that, yes. If you don't want to, I'll ask someone else.
Don't dream of it. It would be my pleasure, milady. And to be clear, the reason you chose to spend time with me is my family, yes? Or is it my crest? Both? I'm just curious about such things. Say I was a commoner. Would you still have invited me to dinner?
Is this really necessary for a simple dinner invitation? Actually, I have a question of my own. Say I was a hoarse-voiced old hag. Would you still be flirting with me? Would you still want to hold my hand and whisper sweet nothings?
That's a difficult question. I have nothing against mature women, but...
Even if you were an old man, I still would have invited you out. If you were a former noble exiled from his family, or an orphan from the streets, my heart cares not. Just kidding. I just wanted to try saying it. Of course it's better that you have money.
You little... Yeah, that's probably true. So, Dorothea, about that dinner?
It would be an honor to have you join me tonight. And let's not talk about things like this over dinner, okay?
Even if I was an old man or an orphan, huh?
Why are you sighing at me like that? Is my face really so hopeless?
Ingrid, I am trying to think of something polite to say right now. It's as if you have no experience dressing elegantly. At all.
I mean, I don't. Dorothea, I appreciate you taking the time, but yes, we're in the middle of a war. It hasn't been my top priority.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so hard on you. I was just surprised, is all. A gal like you, you're a beautiful young noblewoman who somehow has no experience with either makeup or fashion. This is basic stuff, Ingrid. The basics of the basics, really. But it's like you've never even tried.
I was just never interested before. Even as a child, it never appealed to me. Fussy, pretty things always felt unnecessary. And gussing myself up to attract someone has never played an important part in my pursuits as a knight. But you've piqued my interest in all this.
How?
It's not like I'd be dressing myself up just to attract someone. I'd be dressing up for the occasion, specifically. Even if I don't dress up any other time, a special occasion such as this is a good reason to try it out.
Well, yeah. That's why we dress up when we go out. You might meet someone, and you want to look your best, don't you? Get their attention, lure them in.
That's the exact opposite of what I just said. You said previously that dressing up for the occasion is reason enough.
Oh, I just said that so you wouldn't run off screaming.
I see.
My real point is that you're quite lovely even before getting all fixed up. Absolutely bewitching, in fact. So when I'm finished with you, well, someone looking at you could be forgiven for wanting to pounce.
Could they be? I don't know that I'd forgive them.
Oh, I know. That's why just before I lunge, I'm gonna ask permission.
Permission is not granted. Ever. Just back off.
Sylvain, I want to apologize for the other day.
The other day? What are you talking about, Felix? Is this a trap?
You know, when I called you insatiable.
Oh, that? Can't say it didn't hurt, but you have nothing to apologize for. I mean, you've said worse, Felix. Considerably worse. Come on, we've known each other since we were kids. We're not gonna let your constant verbal abuse get in the way of our friendship, are we?
No, I suppose not.
Whenever I started doing something dumb, you'd yell at me about it.
And whenever you dragged me into something, Ingrid would find out and start lecturing us.
All these years, and not much has changed, has it? But you're different, Felix. You used to be so, I don't know, carefree when we were young. Now you're the exact opposite.
Well, you're not any different. Good for nothing then, good for nothing now.
Again with the abuse. This from the guy who's always been by that good-for-nothing side. So, did you come to apologize, or to insult me?
I was on my way to train and I saw you. That's all.
You're off to train, again? Now who's insatiable?
Better than sitting idle like you.
A little idleness would do you some good, pal. Come on, let me buy you something to eat.
No.
You have to choose, Felix. Our friendship, or your training?
My training. Goodbye for now.
What did... is he... Wait, Felix, I'll come train too. Wait up. Hello, Marianne. All done for the day?
Oh, Sylvain. Yes, I was just heading back to my quarters.
Well then, my timing couldn't be better. I was just heading into town and I thought maybe you'd like to join me?
I don't think I should.
I heard a story once about a beautiful maiden who was locked up in a monastery day and night. She was held prisoner by her own fear of the outside world. Then a brave knight set the girl free and took her to town, where they drank tea and talked for hours. So, my fair maiden?
Please, you should not waste your time on me. Besides, my adoptive father requested that I not stray too far from the monastery.
Margrave Edmund wants to keep you locked up, huh? I've heard he's, let's call it ambitious. Well, just tell him who I am. I think he'd approve. I'm heir to House Gautier, one of the most prominent families in the kingdom. I've got a crest, I've got money, And I'm stunningly handsome. What's that face for, Marianne? Was it the handsome thing? I can see how that might have been a bit much.
I don't really know you all that well, but I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me that you have a crest.
Oh, no. I didn't mean you should find my crest impressive. I meant your family would, and you know what? Maybe I should start over.
If you're going into town, please just go without me.
Oh, okay. I've got to get going anyway. Places to be, you know. Well, this is me going. But remember, should you ever need me, I will forever be your knight, my maiden.
I wonder what he meant by that.
Hey, Leone. Are you just getting back? Whoa, what's with the bag? It's huge!
Oh, this? I thought I'd get all my chores done at once. Guess it got a little out of hand. Sorry to be a pain, but could you help me out?
I'm happy to help. Where'd you go to get all this stuff?
Well, first it was just the cloth scraps from the tailor, and then it was the used oil from a restaurant in town. After that, it was the books the scholars didn't know what to do with. I mean, that was just on the way.
Whoa, it sounds like you did a lot of running around today.
It wasn't so bad. I just figured it would save time if I did it all in one trip.
You planned all that out? Impressive! What are you gonna do with all that stuff you got?
The scraps will be good for dishcloths, and I can make soap from the oil. The books are just to help with my studies.
You really can't let anything go to waste, can you?
Nope, can't stand the idea.
Who knew you were so thoughtful? I mean, with actual thinking ahead. You're so generous to everyone and always making me food. I never knew how much thought you must put into it.
I cook to relax, and it's nice seeing how enthusiastic you get about eating what I make. Whatever I give away is just the stuff that isn't useful to me. I pick up all sorts of things when I'm in town. Giving things like that to people who need them or who can actually use them makes sure they aren't wasted.
That makes sense. You've got to use up the stuff you've got after all. Hey, do you think you're like this because you didn't have much growing up?
I guess times were tough now that you mention it. The folks in my village definitely aren't rich. My dad had to go through a lot of trouble to get the recommendations I needed to attend the academy. That doesn't mean I've grown up to be stingy. It just means I don't like to squander. Anyway, enough of that. It's in poor taste to go on about your own hardships. I've always got time for a meal with a friend, and it so happens I picked up some choice meat today. Why don't we share it?
Now you're speaking my language.